This is Dinah Klossa for Lightspeed Saber League, the world's fastest light-based fencing. I'm here to explain the combat rules for Lightspeed Saber fencing, which will help you and your opponent have a fun and safe tournament. I will also explain how to fight safely without sacrificing combat effectiveness. In this video, I'm going to go over armor requirements, violations, and good attack practices. First, every fencer must be wearing the proper armor. You need to wear enough armor to cover all of your most vulnerable spots, which includes head, hands, elbows, shins, knees, and ankles. Let's go over the requirements for each piece of gear. First, make sure that your gloves protect the entire inside of the wrist with either a padded strap or skirt. And they cannot be worn through or torn in case your fingers might fall out. The gloves must also have adequate padding. We recommend a compression of at least 3/10 of an inch. Then, masks must protect the head and have a bib big enough to cover the throat and at least some of your collarbones, and a tongue that can at least partially fold down onto the back of the head. Finally, pretty much any padded or armored elbow, ankle, knee, or shin guards should be adequate. Lightspeed is meant to be a realistic take on light-based fencing. However, due to safety concerns, not everything is legal to do. So, let's go over the violations in Lightspeed Saber fencing. Point attacks, also known as piercing attacks, stabs, etc., are not allowed. Similarly, an extended point position or guard is not allowed. If the tip is to be held toward the opponent, the arms must be bent or otherwise retracted. And any rising attacks below the waist are not allowed. Rising attacks should always target the upper body, which includes the hands and hilt. Excessive force is illegal and will be covered more in the next section. You also cannot volley when a fencer hits their opponent more than once. This still applies, even if the referees fail to detect your hits. Collisions may happen, but if it's going to occur, try to protect your opponent instead of just crashing into them. Reckless behavior, like acting in a manner that can cause a tripping hazard, groin injury, or other injury, even if no hit actually occurs, is not allowed. Don't cause destruction of equipment or property. No punching or hitting, etc. of your opponent. We are a competitive, high-speed, low-armor system, which means we have to know how to fence effectively and safely. This doesn't mean that getting hit will never hurt, but it should never hurt more than necessary. Here's how to make sure you're a great competitor and a great opponent. Hits to the mask are generally recognized as the safest place to attack, and along with the gloves, these are low-risk targets. You will generally have a lot of leeway on these targets. The lower legs, meaning the knees and below, are high-risk targets. The safest way to attack the foot is with a scraping attack. Target the ground next to the foot and press the blade into the ground. Then, scrape the blade to the sole of the shoe. If you don't press the blade into the ground, it could bounce and hit the person in the ankle or shins. Everywhere else is a medium risk target. Short percussive attacks are going to be the safest and fastest way to attack. These are low-angle attacks that decelerate and retract as it arrives at the surface of the target. This attack is made up of two actions. 1, punching forward, and 2, torquing the wrist. Combining these actions creates a fast yet low-power attack. Long percussives are percussive hits thrown from a large angle, usually greater than 90 degrees. Short sweeps are low-angle attacks where the fencer allows the blade to glide or draw over the target area and pass it. You're going to want to be more careful when executing these moderate-risk actions, as it could be easy to apply excess force without proper targeting and technique. Then, long sweeps are high-risk attacks. These are sweeping attacks from a large angle and have the highest power potential. If you are going to utilize a long sweep attack, this must be done with care. The safest way to do these attacks is to withdraw the arm at the apex of the attack while keeping the blade oriented forward. See how in these two examples, each attack reaches the target at the same time. but one displays significantly more force than was needed. We encourage you to be fast and to strike fast, as long as you're doing it thoughtfully. If you're not sure you're able to execute the higher risk action safely, stick with short percussive attacks, or focus your attacks on the gloves or mask. Feel free to ask your referee if you don't understand what you're doing wrong. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great time out there. This has been Dinah Kalasa for Lightspeed Saber League. I'll see you in the box.